Man, this first round of preseason games between the Titans, Ravens, also the Patriots and the Giants, that man, they did not disappoint. I was there was a lot of football going on, a lot of good things going on, and I was very, very happy with a lot of, and I was very encouraged. There's a lot of good rookies that are showing out. But first, before we get into our takeaways from the Titans versus Ravens preseason game, we're going to roast ourselves a little bit. So we came out of the gate last night after watching one quarter of the Titans versus the Ravens. I came out, by the way, the Twitter handle is at ColtonHall99, so give me a like and a follow, or excuse me, give me a follow if you guys want to hear some more of these, boneheaded tweets that I put out. A few notes I've taken away so far through essentially one quarter of these preseason hashtag NFL games. Hashtag Titans quarterback Malik Willis is making a case to start after going, he's currently 4 of 7 for 83 yards, 15, and he also has 15 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. And then Patriots wide receiver Tyquan Thornton deserves more snaps. He had 2 catches for 9 yards and a touchdown on the night. So, I get it. There's a lot of people that are taking a look at me right there and saying, okay, yeah, a little bit of a bonehead move. But I think the deeper message is what really needs to be talked about, because are you going to sit here and tell me, I'll go on my little rant here, then we'll talk about takeaways. Are you going to sit here and tell me that you have your full faith in Ryan Tannehill after these last couple of years throwing interceptions in key moments? I think you'd be lying to yourself if you truly believe that. Now, I will say I am more comfortable with Ryan Tannehill starting right now, but Malik Willis, with what he's doing, he's making a case to at least make a start. Like, he's actually making a case for the Titans to take a serious look at him and be like, okay, and if not start, I'll extend the olive branch. If not start, okay, maybe there's something they can do. Good Morning Football pointed out this morning, talking about maybe there's a formation, maybe there's, in the red zone they can incorporate him a little bit. But he brings a different element to this Titans offense, and I don't think anybody can argue with me there. But anyway, the roast session of myself is done, and we'll get into the takeaways from the game. Like I said, I was very encouraged by what all went down there. So we'll start with this is according to PFF, and I'm trying to get my mouse to work, and there we go. So the highest receiving grades from last night. So Shamar Bridges had an 84.5 receiving, or PFF grade receiving grade, that is. Hassan Haskins went 83.9, and then Isaiah Likely also had an 83.6 PFF grade receiving grade as well. So some great things coming away from receivers on all sides of the NFL on those two teams. Excuse me. So I was encouraged. I think for two teams that do have some questions at the wide receiver position, I mean, it's good that these young guys are showing out. So we'll jump right over to the Ravens to start things out. Tyler Huntley went 16 of 18. He looked sharp. 16 of 18 for 109 yards and a touchdown. Also, Anthony Brown went 10 of 15 for 117 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Relatively solid. And then Brett Huntley, 2 of 2 for 42 yards, so you got to love it. Then rushing there, you had Nate McCrary, had 5 carries for 31 yards. Mike Davis, you guys need to, there's a thing going around, I think it's on Twitter, talking about how he just leveled, was it Rashad Weaver? I can't remember, from the Titans, but yeah, that was rough. Also, Tyler Beatty had 6 carries for 19 yards, and then you see those guys rounding it out there. Then receiving, Shamar Bridges, like we talked about, had a really, 84.5 PFF grade. Caught 4 passes for 62 yards and a touchdown. Isaiah Likely really showing up for the Ravens. He's really gotten a lot of love lately, and he's been a guy that we have saying his praises in training camp and everything else. So I think he's going to be a player you're going to really want to watch out for as the season goes on. And then Micaiah Polk had 6 catches for 43 yards to close things out there for the Ravens. So, like I said, there was a lot of good. I love to see it, and I think these guys are going to continue to ball out and continue to give Lamar Jackson some options to throw the football. Then defensively, Josh Ross led the way with 4 tackles. Also, Darryl Worley had 4 tackles and a pick. Tony Jefferson, was it Tony Jefferson that led the way in that big hit on, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was McCrary, if I remember correctly, but big hit late down in the red zone. Maybe it was Beatty. But anyway, but you had that big hit, and you really like what you saw there. Stephen Means also added a sack, I really do think that, and by the way, Travis Jones is a stud, straight up stud for the Ravens. And he also had a sack last night as well. The rookie coming up out of Connecticut. He's a bad man. I'm excited to see what he does moving forward. Now we're going to jump over to the Titans side of things. So you saw Logan Woodside come in and go 14 of 24 for 102 yards and 2 picks. Malik Willis, 6 of 11 for 107 yards. That's what I'm saying. it's not like he, maybe, okay, I'll admit, maybe I'm wrong in the starting phase of things, maybe so, but you cannot tell me that he does not add something special to this Titans offense. Him and Derrick Henry, come on, that would just be nasty. So Julius Chestnut led the way, 7 carries for 44 yards for the Titans. Malik Willis also had 5 carries for 38 yards and that touchdown. By the way, Kyle Hamilton, he's got the what is it? Is it pitch? It's not even pitch PL contain. It's or PPC. It's I think it's BART, so it's boot and reverse technique. If you watch that tape of that Malik Willis, actually, I think, do we have it here? Hold on, give me a sec here. I'm trying to find it for you guys. But if you watch the boot on that Malik Willis tape, it really is the fact that this man has that. He's got that responsibility. It's that BART, that boot and reverse technique, and that's rough, because you really do have to make sure that you are following your responsibility all the way through. So when you consider the fact that this man was just trying to make a play, yeah, that's rough. But I do think you got to take it easy on him because I do think that it happens. You gotta shake that kind of a thing off. And I think that at the end of the day, I mean, Malik Willis is a stud. He's an absolute stud. And I'm trying to pull up the play here, and then I'll shut up so you guys can take a look at it. But again, it's boot and reverse. Your job in that scenario is to make sure nothing gets outside of you. And if something does try to get outside of you, you are that playmaker right there. And actually, I think, here we go. I'm going to get the sound quick. Maybe? No? Okay, no sound. Fine. So you see Malik Willis here, boom. Kyle Hamilton right there. He's got to make that play. That's the boot and reverse technique, the BART technique, if you will, from what I learned. So yeah, he's got to have that contain. He's got to make that play. You see these guys, coming up in pursuit, but that is his play to make. That is his responsibility. Malik Willis with a nice touchdown there. So yeah, is it rough? Yes, but overall, you do like how the rest of this defense seemed to bounce back. So it is not the end of the world. These rookies are learning, but it was a little rough there for a second. So now we'll go back here. Race McMath, led the way for the Titans. He had 1 catch for 48 yards. Also, Terry Godwin had 4 catches for 31 yards. A lot of people are freaking out about the fact that Treylon Burks didn't have a catch. Calm down. It's the first game of preseason. Let's not freak out, okay? And then defensively, Jack Gibbons led the way with 9 tackles for the Titans. Theo Jackson had 5, as well as Greg Mabin. And you saw, David Anahai, I believe, Ania, whatever, I apologize, had 2 sacks as well. There's some really good things coming from this Titans defense. It really did, if you watch it carefully, Caleb Farley also had a couple of nice plays in there as well. So if you watch it carefully, you really do start to see this defense. It's holding up strong in a lot of different scenarios. So, I think there was a lot of different things that you take away from this. I'm sorry, but I gotta watch this another play, man. That was just, man, he's got so much speed. You cannot just leave this man open like that. This just, I'm sorry, that pulled up in our player. We had to play it one more time. But overall, that's what we got in terms of takeaways from the Titans versus the Ravens. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. Down in the description below, you find all of our social media platforms. Give us a like and a follow. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about our takeaways from the Tennessee Titans versus Baltimore Ravens preseason game.